Hi, and welcome to another Tech Tips with me, Colin Smith from the Developer Academy. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Git and how we clone something, get working on it, and how we put stuff back. So I've got an example, so I'm going to dive straight in. So what I've got open here is Visual Studio Code. You can do this quite simply with a terminal as well. The commands are the same in Windows as they are in Linux, so you just need to install the Git package and then you can get all the commands here. So what I've got at the moment is I've got a projects folder that contains all the projects that I usually work on. I like to have it in this folder structure. So first of all, I've just changed into the folder that I'm going to have everything in. So that's my projects. And I've got here a repository that I've already done that I want to start working on locally. So I'm going to copy the URL. And I'm going to go back to my terminal. I'm going to do git clone, and I'm going to put the URL in. Now, if you don't have access to cloning a repository, it's usually because your username and password aren't set, and it will ask you for your GitHub credentials. GitHub have changed this recently, so you need to have what we call a token key. So you need to have that token key rather than a password, and you can generate that from GitHub. I should have all that set up, so this should just work just fine. So I'm going to git clone this, and it should put it into a folder called starter adverts backend functional. And there we go. So that's all done. So if I do an ls now, you can see that I've got my backend functional folder there. So let's have a look in here. There we go. So I've got everything that I need in there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this in Visual Studio Code just so I can make some amends in it. So that's the backend folder. Okay. There we go. Right. So in this case, I can go in, I can make changes to our index file, into our models and things like that. What I'm going to do actually is I'm just going to change a couple of things in the README. This has been updated recently. Okay, very straightforward. And I'm just going to save that. Well, not save as. I'm going to try and save it. Okay. Now, there's two ways to actually put this back into GitHub once we've made changes. You can see on the left-hand side that we've got from our source control that it's updated something. That's because I'm signed in with GitHub through Visual Studio Code, so it will allow me to make a commit and add it into our committed changes here. What I'm going to do is show you how to do that in the terminal first. So I'm just going to open a new terminal. You can see I'm in the right folder here, so that's where all our files are. What I need to do first is I need to think about putting this stuff up. So first of all, I need to actually put in what I'm actually changing. Now, if I'm changing just one file like the README, I can do git add and I can do README, like that. Or if I want to just include all changes that I've made, I can do git add star. Generally speaking, I do git add star because when I'm ready to commit, that means I'm committed to updating the copy on the server. There we go. I can do git status now, and it can say that I've got some things going on. So there's some changes to be committed. So I've done a README MD. So what I've done is I've put that almost into like a staging area. So now that it's staged, I'm ready to actually put it back into GitHub. So I'm going to create a commit. So I'm going to git commit -m. I'm going to include a message just to say what we've done. So updated readme.md. Okay. At this point, and you can see that Visual Studio Code is reporting the same thing, we've created our commit. So if I look at git status again, you can see that it's on branch master. We're ahead by one commit, so I've got local commits ready to commit, and I need to git push it. So this will push our commit up to the server and then show that on the server, because at the moment, if we look at here, it's still not updated here. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to git push, and there you go. You can see that it's done an upload and it's put it back onto the server, and now we know we are synchronized. And I can show you that if I just refresh this page now, you'll be able to see that this has been updated recently. And again, I can show you via here, if I do git status, you can see there's nothing to commit, everything's updated, and it's all clean. And that's that. That's how we kind of push stuff back up into the server. Now, what if we were to get Visual Studio Code to do this? Okay, well, let's make our changes. So I have updated this again. I'm going to save that. Again, Visual Studio Code has told us that it's updated. I'm going to click on this to say to stage this change. And then I'm going to commit it. So in this case, updated readme again. And it's the same process. We've added the files, we've staged our commit, and then we're going to push it to the server. So updated readme again. There we go. And then this is the git push that's going to happen here. And there we go. And now when we go back into here, we can see that that has been updated. A very simple and very quick introduction to how to use Git and GitHub with Visual Studio Code and in the terminal.